Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well today. So, as you may know, I recently picked up my first Ruger 1022, and one of the things I noticed out of the box is the limited magazine capacity. Now, these are 10-round mags that they come from the factory, they being the Ruger 1022, as you can see the Ruger logo on the bottom. And these mags work a little differently than some of the traditional mags. They're actually like a rotary mag or like a mini drum mag, whereas you load the rounds that kind of rotate around inside on a little rotor inside the magazine. And there's probably a spring inside there that keeps spring tension to keep that little rotor or wheel rotating as each round pops out of the magazine. Well, I was looking for something with a little higher capacity to use, and again, I haven't even had a chance to get out to the range with this yet, but I wanted to get some extra mags so I can go to the range and test this out and not have to keep reloading the 10-round mag over and over. So, picked up a couple of these mags from Cabela's. They're made by Champion Shooting Gear, it looks like, made in the US. And this is a 30-round magazine. Now they're made a little differently. They have more of a traditional style follower in the bottom here, and they're kind of like a double stack magazine, which is different to me because the pistols I've shot that were 22s have been single stack, but I'm so not real familiar with the double stack magazine design like this for the 22s, but kind of a neat concept. And one of the things I noticed about this is, and you may notice this too, there isn't a spring on the bottom of the follower here like a lot of the magazines would have for like your pistols and rifles and so forth. However, there is a spring, and it's just a different design. You see there's a little wheel on the bottom here, and a little peg that sticks out, and this silver part that's in here that reflects a whole lot is actually a spring. It's actually unwound. So the spring is like a clock spring that rolls up around this little peg, and it's attached up here, so as you put each round in and the follower goes down, the spring is uncoiling itself all the way to the bottom of the magazine. So I'm interested to see how this will work, and we're going to take you guys along with us to the range and test them out and see how it goes. Of course, I'm going to start out with testing out the rifle with this factory 10-round mag to see how that goes, and then we're going to go ahead and try out these 30-round mags as well. And today we're going to be running the Remington, their brass-plated hollow points, their golden bullet value pack, I guess you can call it, and see how that goes, just for an idea of what ammo I'm going to be running, because of course with 22s, ammo can really affect how these things run and so forth. So let's go check it out. Okay, so I'm back from the range 35. Got a chance to go test out the Ruger 1022 for the first time today. Ran the first 10 rounds with the factory mag, ran perfectly fine, no issues there. Went ahead and went to test one of the first Champion mags, and it worked perfectly fine. I was like impressed. I was like, hey, cool, half the price of the BX25 mag, and it works. So I'm like, awesome. Got to the second one, not so much. So what happened was, the first round, I went to chamber it, was getting smashed against the feed ramp on the mag. And I was kind of wondering, well, what's causing this? Why is this happening? And so forth. but let me see if it'll work on the next round or whatever. And I did get it to feed and get it to work, but what I noticed was that the follower was like kind of sticking. So you have all these rounds in here, you got the follower at the bottom, and I'm thinking, well, maybe there's just not enough spring pressure on this to get these rounds to kind of pop up enough that they're angled properly with the feed ramp. And I think that's what the case is. I think it's what's happening. And I started looking at what could the reason be. Is it the spring? Is it something that's causing excess friction on the inside of the magazine? So I started taking a peek at the mag, and I found, looking at it, it might be kind of hard to see that it's kind of frosted on the inside here, which I was thinking, well, maybe there's some rough surface on the inside. The plastic might be rough, and it'll be a little bit of flanching, or whatever we're going to call it, causing that follower to kind of get stuck a little bit. And so I took a plastic pick, and I popped out the little bottom cover, because these mags don't disassemble. You can't take them apart. But there is a little plastic cover, a little gray cover, that's on the bottom of the mag. I'm just guessing that's either for part of the assembly process, or, who knows. But I started feeling the inside to see if there was some roughness there, and there is a little bit at the bottom of the mag, the very bottom. However, that doesn't quite explain the full scenario. I'm not sure, where this follower might be getting caught exactly, because I don't feel it as high up as I thought I would feel it. And this also did happen probably a third of the way into this to this magazine being shot. It also happened again. Of course, I popped out the mag, dropped out the round that was kind of smashed a little bit, put it back in, and ran it again. Actually, before I put it back in, I kind of tapped it a little bit to kind of get the round to kind of, pull out of the magazine a little bit and just sit on the feed ramp like it's supposed to, in a sense, and it ran the rest of the rounds fine. So it leads me to believe that the issue lies inside the magazine housing itself. I don't know. Now, my next step is going to be either try to remedy the problem myself somehow, clean something, lubricate something, sand something down on the inside if I can, or easiest route, probably contact the company that makes it and see if they'll send me a replacement, swap it out. But bottom line, Champion mags, they're not as reliable as I was hoping. So you might be able to use them for a practice mag. That's the only thing I could recommend them for at this point in time. I personally will probably pick up a few of the BX25 mags from Ruger because they're kind of a proven mag. They seem to be very reliable, and they're made from the manufacturer that actually makes the rifle. So one last thing I did notice, it's kind of cool, even though the mags are not that great. There's this little pin on the mag. Might be kind of hard to see because clear mag. There's a pin and there's a little dimple, hole, whatever you want to call it. And these two mags will actually stick together, like so. So you can basically couple these mags. Now, would they stay together coupled like this? I don't know. But if you're going to put them together like this, you might want to run a little bit of tape around them or something to keep them clamped together. So that's the basic review on these Champion shooting sports or shooting gear mags. And I really can't recommend them at this point in time, other than maybe if you want to use them for practice. So either way, hope you guys all enjoyed the little review. And until next time, go out and have some fun shooting.